Hello, I am Dr. Pascal Trotta. I am a physician, specialist, radiologist, former intern at the hospitals of Paris, a graduate of the faculty, but also a doctor, homeopath, nutritionist, acupuncturist, and teacher. And for this double reason, I would like to talk to you about a pathology of the modern world, of the Western world, of the world that runs too fast, which is burnout. Burnout, as its name suggests, is the exhaustion of your energy reserves. It means in English that you have indeed burned out all your reserves, that you are out from having pushed the machine too hard. Well, this burnout is not depression. It has nothing to do with it. It is an exhaustion of your adrenal glands due to excessive chronic stress. If you are used to working too much, running too much, doing too much, well, you are in fact what is called in hypersympathetic atonia. It is actually the yang of Eastern medicine. And so you are constantly on your toes with the accelerator fully pressed. As they say in Spain, at tope, you are all in. Like a motorcycle, you live at 100 miles per hour. You simply forget to rest. Burnout is exactly that. It is ultimately just forgetting to replenish your energy reserves. I will give you an example. You have a water jug that is completely full, and at the bottom there is a small tiny hole, and the water slowly drips out. And the water that drips drop by drop is your energy. So this energy gradually leaks away as you go about your daily physical and mental activities. And the water that will ultimately fill this leaking jug is essentially rest. And so, if you forget to rest, to give yourself the necessary breaks, the jug leaks and will eventually end up empty. And when it is empty, you have no more energy. That is burnout. And one morning, you will no longer be able to get up and out of bed. That's what burnout is. You have given so much, you are listened to so little, you are so poorly rested that one morning the batteries are empty and the engine won't start. And your body is intelligent because when you push the accelerator all the way down, you face two risks. Either you will die of a heart attack, that's right, it's the engine seizing up. So, if you haven't died from a heart attack, to protect yourself, your body goes into burnout. You have no energy left and you can no longer get up. And at that moment, the necessary rest will be the total amount of rest that you have not taken. I will give you the example of one of my patients who was a 30-year-old young man who came to see me and experienced a colossal burnout. He sold fishing equipment for a Spanish company, and he was so skilled that he not only covered all of Spain, but also the Balearic Islands and the Canary Islands. And his boss was so pleased with him that he had given him the entire Spanish territory, including the Balearic Islands and the Canaries, to sell fishing equipment. And this young person, indeed caught up in action, with the energy of their 20s to 30s, has forgotten to rest because they had a benefit based on their results. In fact, this is why he didn't take any vacation, and he worked not day and night, but a lot during the day. And one day he couldn't simply get up to go to work, and he was completely and utterly burned out. And that's the diagnosis of burnout. Well, I treated this person who did not return to work and took 3 years to recover from their burnout because for 10 years they had never taken a break. And so it took him 3 years of vacation and rest to indeed recover from 10 years of overactivity. So the human body is well made. If the good Lord has given us sleep, it is indeed for us to rest and rebuild the machine at night. Some people need very little sleep. They are the short sleepers. They will not experience burnout if they know how to rest and give themselves time to recover. We have Sunday rest and we have vacations, etc., which allow us to recharge our batteries. And what are ultimately the professions affected by burnout? They are the professions of giving. It is the people who give the most, and this is primarily in service professions, in medicine, in education, and in religious communities. It is a doctor and priest, Dr. Pascal Hyde, who has written a very good book, Burnout, the Disease of Giving. What is it ultimately? What leads you to burnout? You give of yourself, you are empathetic, you don't know how to say no. And so you say yes, yes, yes all the time. Yes to overtime. Yes to this mission outside of my job. Yes to this campaign. Yes to this action. Yes to this dinner. Yes to this request. And in the end, you forget to say no. You forget about yourself because you are empathetic, compassionate, and you give all your energy to others. And we find this in pathologies, in education, with teachers who do not listen to themselves, who do not heed the increasingly absurd directives coming from above, and where there is colossal pressure on teachers that sometimes makes them forget to teach. So teachers, you are there to teach, you are not there to handle administrative tasks. Doctors, you are there to heal, you are not there to handle administrative tasks. Therefore, we find burnout more often in caregiving professions, teaching professions, medical professions, therapists, but also in the professions of business leaders who give their all to keep their companies alive. So, burnout, as I told you, means that you have burned through all your energy reserves. The water reserve is empty and you can no longer get up. And so, to prevent burnout, you need to fill this water jug by resting, taking the necessary breaks during the week, on Sundays, on weekends, or one day during the week, and also by taking regular vacations. What exactly makes you think that you might potentially be at risk of burnout? Well, it's the loss of concentration, it's fatigue, it's intellectual exhaustion, it's being fed up, etc., illnesses, an infection, etc. I'll give you an example. For example, if you catch the flu every winter, it may be that the flu is there to force you to go to bed and rest, as it is often there to make you fast when you are overweight and constantly accumulating calories while forgetting to detoxify your body. So, the small signs that should alert you are subtle signs such as lack of concentration, lack of vitality, fatigue, poor sleep, mild latent depression, worry, minor dermatological issues, intestinal troubles, small pains, etc. There are small signals that you need to listen to telling you, okay, now I need to stop, never mind, I will say no, but I have to save my health. Because you also need to think a little about yourself, your health, your most precious asset. So if you have even these small signs to prevent burnout, take a little break. There is no shame in resting. There is no shame in taking a nap. I praise the nap. Well, here in Spain, we usually have lunch at 2 p.m. and then return to work at 4 p.m. Well, from 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m., I take a 20-minute nap. It's sacred. 3 hours, I take 20 minutes for a nap. It's sacred. I praise the nap because in those 20 minutes, what I call the parking break, you sleep for 20 minutes, no more. You will lower your blood pressure, achieve heart coherence, rest your heart, strengthen your heart, organize all the ideas from the morning in your brain, arrange them well, and you will wake up after 20 minutes feeling refreshed with a clear mind. This is how I successfully passed the internship in Paris on my first attempt, because I had learned by reading a book, The Keys to Sleep, by René Flucher, how one could sleep for a quarter of an hour like that at their work desk when concentration wanes and the eyes start to sting. Well, at that moment, you take a quick break of 10 minutes to a quarter of an hour, you wake up with renewed concentration, colossal memory, and everything that comes in is retained. So, our sleep is very essential indeed. Our nap is very essential indeed. Why? To allow the brain to rest, the heart to rest, and to quickly recharge the batteries. A 20-minute nap is equivalent to gaining 3 hours in a day. So it's a great investment, more profitable than the stock market or Bitcoin. Sleep should be restorative. To sleep well, one must avoid Wi-Fi, ventilate the room, fall asleep with a soft light, avoid screens and television that overstimulate the brain, and then sleep for 4.5 hours, 6 hours, or 7.5 hours no more, as that is sufficient. 6 hours, 7:30, necessary to sleep end cycles, generally 1.5 hours each. So 4 hours rather than 3.5 hours. And there, you wake up at the beginning of the next cycle and you feel great, recharging your batteries, and you will be able to carry out your daily tasks with wonderful concentration. And then, if burnout is present and you can no longer get up because you are not being heard, you must listen to yourself. Anyway, you can no longer get up, so you will sleep, 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 and sleep. And then, having the time to read because you will be at rest to understand the origin of your illness. And then, change your way of living and no longer live like before at 100 or even 200 kilometers per hour, and learn to take your foot off the accelerator, rest, and recharge your batteries. Next, when you have burnout, it is important to take appropriate supplements that will recharge your energy batteries, such as vitamin C, ginseng-based supplements, and supplements that will strengthen your immunity and vitality through your gut, as well as modifying your diet, etc. That will help you have clearer ideas and choose a lifestyle that is more suited to your abilities, and learn to listen to yourself. Burnout, as I mentioned, is a disease of giving, of people who are too empathetic, who give too much, and who do not know how to say no. To avoid burnout, it is important to know how to say no, listen to oneself, rest, maintain a good diet, and have a balanced lifestyle. Thank you.